Today I rise to speak on the youth crime crisis that's been plaguing far north Queensland for a decade now. The crime crisis is one of the big reasons why I decided to step up and run for the seat of Barron River, because far north Queenslanders have had an absolute enough of the crime that's impacting our community. The deterioration of our city over the past few years has been very, very sad for our region. And we've had enough of the stolen cars, we've had enough of the late night and early morning break-ins, we've had enough of small businesses being impacted physically and financially because of the weak laws. We've had enough of our kids being robbed of their bikes.
Members to my left, I'm struggling to hear the member on their feet.
We've had enough of children not even being able to go to the park on their push bike or on their scooter, and as a parent knowing that they're going to come home with that bike or that scooter. Some of those kids have worked really hard to save money to be able to purchase that item, and they're absolutely devastated to have lost that item. We've had enough of good people being traumatised and nurses not even being able to walk to work without being impacted by crime and being assaulted. A lot of us have had enough of being able to walk in our streets or even just walk down the esplanade. I'm not talking North Queensland down. This is the legacy of the crime crisis.
Order, members.
They don't want to hear it. They don't. I'll take that interjection. They do not want to hear.
Just because I permitted a bit of argy-bargy in the earlier contributions does not mean that interjections are always welcome. I'm struggling to hear the member on her feet. I just warned those members on my left of that. It is harder to hear a voice from the back corner of the House. And if I can't hear them, then it is beyond disorderly. So the interjections will cease and we will hear the member in silence. Member for Barron River.
Thank you for your protection. The LNP did pass the Making Queensland Safer laws in December. And many of our Labor MPs across the hall here, they walked out of Parliament snarling at us, especially us new MPs, are saying that we are an absolute disgrace for pushing through these new laws for youth criminals. The Labor government weakened the youth justice laws a decade ago and made detention as a last resort. So now we do have a decade of hardcore youth repeat offenders that have gotten a slap on the wrist after slap on the wrist with very little consequences for actions. Cairns has 78 repeat youth offenders. The police know who they are, the police do an incredible job, but the previous laws were letting them down. But let me be clear here, if adult time, adult crime was not made law, repeat youth offenders would not be facing harsher consequences like they are now. What I want to know today, though, is what the Labor candidate for Leichhardt, Matt Smith's position on crime is. He thinks that the laws we have introduced,
members to my left,
should be weakened and should be watered down.
I'll start warning members formally understanding orders. Member for Barron River, you have the call.
Thank you. So I want to know, what is Matt Smith's position on crime? He thinks the laws we have introduced should be weakened and watered down. Unbelievably, he thinks that Labor's approach for the last 10 years worked, and he thinks crime is a state issue. And he said, I quote, David Crisafulli and the state government were elected to fix youth crime because it is a state issue. We have a different view. It is everybody's issue. It is also the local Cairns Regional Council
The member for... Which one will I choose? The member for Pine Rivers is the first one to join the formal warning list, and there will be others. I don't need anyone's assistance in managing the House, whoever said that. Member for Barron River, you have the call.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said, we have a different view. It's everyone's issue. Even our local Cairns Regional Council are extremely passionate about reducing crime in the region. We work very closely with our local councillors, our mayor and our deputy mayor. Jeremy Neal, our candidate for Leichhardt, strongly backs our adult crime, adult time laws. Matt Smith, however, has not backed our adult time, adult crime laws. Labor and Matt Smith would like to see us return to the dark days where the rights of young criminals are put before the rights of victims. And Labor and Matt Smith would like to see our adult time, adult crime laws wound back. But Queenslanders have made their position clear. When it comes to crime, the approach the last 10 years didn't work, and more of the same didn't work and will not work. Queenslanders don't want to go back, but a vote for Labor and Matt Smith in Leichhardt will do just that. It will send us backwards, back to Labor's youth crime crisis. I'll take that interjection for the member for Cairns, who couldn't even turn up to a crime rally in Cairns. So when it comes to turning the tide on Labor's youth crime crisis, there is a long way to go, Mr. Member for Cairns, and we are starting to see some movement in the right direction, and early signs show that our new adult crime laws are working to keep dangerous repeat youth offenders off the streets. And after a decade of your weak laws and your weakness, we will continue to deliver the laws that Queenslanders and keeping them safe where they live.